To discuss this issue with us, we're joined via Skype by political analyst Robert Oulds. Robert, thank you for joining us. Now, it seems as an attempt to end political uncertainty and appease 5 years of public discontent, but instead it's caused an economic panic. What's going on?
And it could well lead to fresh elections, which would actually result in the Syriza party led by Alexis Tsipras, who's opposed to the austerity programmes and the policies that have been forced on Greece that have caused such economic harm. So really, this could really be the unravelling at last of the failed austerity programme, which has only resulted in mass unemployment. Yes, there has been some economic growth in Greece, but not enough to deal with the 6 years of pain they've had to go through as a result of the uncompetitiveness for the Greek economy of the euro, the EU single currency, and of course the dreadful austerity measures which have had severe public spending cuts, cuts to education, cuts to spending, whilst of course there's been tax rises, and it's led to a situation where many people are now destitute in Greece, and it's suffered really severe economic hardship with mass unemployment.
While international lenders want Greece to make additional austerity measures, opposition leader Alexis Tsipras believes he can roll back spending cuts and tighten the budget. Now, is this just wishful thinking?
Well, it's something that Greece can do if it has autonomy and the right to make its own economic decisions. At the moment, being in the euro, they do not have the power to do so. They're under the control of the European Union, and in particular the European Central Bank and the International Monetary Fund, which has made them follow such a damaging path. And there's really been a cut in the Greek democratic system where they've forced through these measures against popular opinion. And that is why now people are increasingly turning to the Syriza party because it's offering an alternative. At the moment, the main political parties are, well, politically as well as economically bankrupt, just like the rest of Greece. And of course, that's people are turning to the Syriza party, and they're turning to new leaders, Alexis Tsipras, who you mentioned, who does want to chart a different course. They really must exit the euro, have their own economic policy in place, and one which stimulates economic growth, not about policy which is all about spending money to the IMF, to the European Central Bank, and appeasing international creditors who, of course, have recklessly lent Greece excessive amounts of money which could never have been repaid. This is the fruits of failed economic policies now going back more than a decade, and it's now caused a lot of problems, and at last the political discontent has, well, it's been spilling over on the streets. There was further riots in Athens, the Greek capital, on Sunday, but yes, people are increasingly turning to alternative political parties.
But you've mentioned yourself that they're now in a lot of debt that they're having difficulty repaying. So in order for them to be able to do what Alexis Tsipras says that he wants to do, they'll have to exit the euro and not be under control of the ECB. How realistic is that?
It can actually quickly, just a political will at the moment. There's just a political class that are wedded to the idea of the European Union and, of course, its failed economic policies. There really needs to be a new brush in Greek politics, sweep aside the old policies, and they can quickly create their own currency if they were so minded to do so. People are worried about it because there would be inflation, but actually with a country like Greece, a little bit of inflation and a devalued currency would actually help. It would actually introduce growth. So this is something that they shouldn't be afraid of. They should embrace a whole new economic policy because the previous policies have not worked.
Robert Oulds, political analyst, thank you very much for joining us today.